Wave so I know you hear me and that you're awake. Yes, it's good to be in the house, and it's good to see all of your smiling faces. Thank you for coming out this morning to see Freedom Church, the Liberation of Soul. My name is Keisha Dixon, and I'm the Executive Director of the Asante Art Institute of Indianapolis, Indiana, Incorporated. We have been on the planet for 31 years, going into our 32nd season. Asante Children's Theater, which is now under the umbrella, was an idea of Deborah Asante to give a place for young people to come and discover their gifts, to discover their culture and establish cultural pride, and learn how to be present in the world and make decisions, positive decisions, that move us all forward. So Freedom Church is a play that was written by Deborah, and we're glad to bring it here to Witherspoon Church. This is our board president, Dr. Winterborn Harrison Jones, and he will be speaking shortly. But I did want to say, we are not able to do this work without the support of the community. So as I list them, just think about who is supporting this work. And it sounds really impressive, right? But we need more people to come and help us to continue, especially in light of the pandemic. So we thank the Arts Council and the City of Indianapolis. We thank Central Indiana Community Foundation. We thank Crystal D. Hond. We thank the Summer Youth Partnership Fund. We thank the Indiana Arts Commission. We thank the Department of Child Services. We thank the Arthur Dean Family Foundation for supporting our work, and that's just to name a few. We were able to do this as a result of a 7-year partnership that we have with Conner Prairie. How many years? 7. How many years? That means we didn't just start. So we've been doing this work a long time in partnership with them to bring this type of programming to Hamilton County and also have it established here in Marion County. So I'll be up later on to talk, and if you see me and you want to know more about Asante Art Institute, you can visit our website. I invite you to follow us on social media, and I also invite you to think about, you got in here free. You might have to pay to get out. But think about how can we create a financial base from our donors and financial supporters so that we can give the plays out and have our programming offered at no cost to our families. We want to be able to continue to do that. So thank you again for coming. And now, oh, you don't, oh, well, I would like to bring Dr. Charlene Fletcher to the stage. She is the Director of Curatorial Experiences at Conner Prairie.
Good morning, family. Good morning. All right. Thank you for coming. I am excited. I am the new curatorial director at Conner Prairie, and I am more than excited about the partnership with Asante that Conner Prairie has had for 7 years. I, at one point, was an ACT, I am an ACT alum. Hey. But Freedom Church, the Liberation of Soul, is a beautiful partnership, and it gives folks a glimpse of what's coming to Conner Prairie in the form of a new permanent exhibition that focuses on Black spirituality called Promised Land as Proving Ground. If you are from Indianapolis, then you probably know that Conner Prairie has not always had a healthy relationship with our community. However, that is changing. And our Ashe, I'm there, so it's changing. So we are excited to keep moving forward with this partnership. This is family for me, and I'm bringing family to Conner Prairie, but also bringing Conner Prairie into Marion County, which is something that it has not done. So I thank you, and I love y'all.
Thank you, Dr. Charlene Fletcher.
All right, so as board chair and as Pastor Witherspoon, we want to welcome you into this sacred place for this phenomenal production. Now, I do want to let you know that we are streaming today, so I want to also welcome those of you who are joining us online. It is our desire that through this play, your hearts be inspired, that you learn something new. So we invite you to listen with both your head and your heart. The music is phenomenal, the message, but also the call to action that Deborah has woven into this production, that we may envision a better community and a better world for all of us, so that our future may remain bright. So Witherspoon is excited to be a partner, always supporting the mission and the vision of Asante, and we are so thankful that you are here on today to witness the phenomenal work of these young actors, our alumni that are part of the cast, as well as the continued legacy of the Asante Art Institute of Indianapolis. So, without further ado, we welcome you to, and we welcome our ASL interpreter, who is the mother of one of our leading actors. And so, without further ado, we welcome you to Freedom Church, the Liberation of Soul. Give them a hand.
Oh, storyteller! Yes, that's me. And I'm here to weave you a story using the thread of history, our trauma, perseverance, and resolve. We will explore how the Black church evolved into the centerpiece of the movement in our struggles against equality. We are not here to hold church. We are here to know church. We are not here to hold Church, we are here to know church and to celebrate its story within our story.
Listen to the story, listen.
Listen, I carry the story of faith. It is not mine alone. Many live this misery, so many gone. Yes, listen, you must hear the story of people stolen from all they held dear.
They were living, loving, creating their own rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Listen to the story, listen.
Listen. Looking back to a time when the sun, listen to the rhythms of the drum.
They were living, loving, creating their own rhythm. Listen to the story, listen.
Dark hands will reach, dark arms will hold, dark hearts will feeling for one another. Dark eyes were glancing while inner souls were dancing to heartbeats straight from God. Dark voices rose in praise, and dark minds were amazed at the music these dark bodies made.
As they moved together against the wind.
Oh yeah.
They were living, loving, creating their own rhythm. Listen to the story, listen.
Dark hands found their voice as they pounded drums out of tree bark. There was a rhythm. They were living. There was a rhythm. They were living. Lit from within, dark was bright. They had every reason to feel that they were right. Their respect and gratitude rung out in praise songs. Yes, it was dark, but nothing was wrong.
As they moved,
As they moved.
together against the wind.
Right.
They were living, loving, creating their own rhythm. Listen to the story, listen.
Sparks, spirits, and strength were everywhere. In the beginning, there was light in the darkness, and light is still there.
Are you listening?
Are you listening?
Do you hear what is obvious and clear?
Who do you hear?
These were people who lived,
Live,
who loved,
love,
who breathed,
breathe,
who bled,
live,
who laughed, who cried, who breathed, and loved ones who
breathe.
died.
Yes, real people in whole communities, each one connected to each other. There was a rhythm. They were living. There was a rhythm. They lived.
Those lives, that rhythm, meant nothing to the men who saw nothing but profits.
Not children, not mothers.
Not fathers.
They saw
Pure profits.
The transatlantic slave trade changed everything.
Everything changed.
It changed us all forever.
The nasty business of slavery offered the biggest profit ever seen, and everyone wanted to cash in, and I do mean everyone. Dark ones, light ones, white ones. Each one wanted to make a profit, so
People were caught,
Branded as slaves.
and shipped away from their lives.
they were caught, bought, and controlled. Caught, bought, and controlled.
They were caught, bought, and controlled. Caught, bought, and controlled.
Caught in many cases by African slave traders. Bought for the first time by European ship captains who often had priests on hand to bless the human cargo as they boarded the ship.
no.
Caught,
But less and controlled.
Did they understand what was happening?
They were young, afraid, confused, torn away from all they knew, packed, stacked, and chained in the belly of a ship trapped there in horror for the voyage called the Middle Passage.
A passage 3 months long. They lost their freedom. Many more lost their lives.
Only the very strongest could survive.
The story holds the history, the sad truth. that gold meant more than souls. Millions of African bones at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean is our proof.
I do not know. Why must I suffer? What have I done to deserve this sorrow? Why must I suffer? What have I done to deserve this sorrow? Why must I suffer? What have I done to deserve this sorrow? Now pain and sadness haunts my tomorrow. 3 months in the bottom of the water will mess with your mind. I pray, dear Lord, don't leave my soul behind. 3 months in the bottom of the water will mess with your mind. Dear Lord, don't leave my soul behind. 3 months in the bottom of the water will mess with your mind. I pray, dear Lord, don't leave my soul behind. 3 months in the bottom of the water will mess with your mind. Dear Lord, don't leave my soul behind. Dear Lord, don't leave my soul behind. Dear Lord, don't leave my soul behind.
The Middle Passage was a nightmare, and many Africans did not survive. Those who did survive were
Traumatized.
wounded, broken, scarred.
Changed.
Yet everything changed for those who did survive. Although they were no longer surrounded by death and suffering in the belly of the ship, the auction block denied their humanities. Prodded and pushed, examined, and commanded as if they were horses. They called out in their native tongues to be saved. No one seemed to understand. No one seemed to care. But no soul can witness such suffering and not be ultimately injured by it. Just think of the money. Think of the money. I belong home. Who am I without my family? Property. No! Yes. So. What just happened? I don't understand. Now you belong. And you belong. After being sold, off to work you go, where your labor will build the strongest economy the world has ever known.
They worked and they worked. They worked from can't see in the morning. They worked till can't see at night. They worked and they worked. They worked though they had nothing. They worked and they worked. They worked to connect to the rhythm of survival. They worked and they worked. They worked and they worked. They worked and they worked.
Stripped of all that was familiar, the enslaved Africans struggled to make sense of this smaller existence.
They were people, the Igbo, Mandinka, Congo, Akan, and Wolof. But they were treated like property, bred like animals, whipped into submission.
As always with slavery, profit was the priority. The Africans were resilient. There were many tactics used for survival and resistance.
Some found that moving slowly and pretending to be, stupid was an effective way of sabotaging their enslavement.
Another tactic involved the genius of telling stories, chock full of hidden messages, expressions of their anger, and jokes made at the enslavers' expense.
Many of the enslaved came from West African cultures, where the trickster was a popular character, and those adventures were soon channeled into Brer Rabbit and High John the Conqueror tales.
Oh, I got one! Well, gather around as I tell you a story about High John the Conqueror. One day it was so hot in the August sun that the sun started sweating. And the June bugs, they stopped flying. And out of nowhere there was a hole in the ground and out popped Massa. Wait, did I say Massa?
Yes!
I'm sorry, I meant the devil. Now the devil was sneaking around and lurking for somebody to take on with him. And he heard tale of High John the Conqueror and how he was a big, strong man. Now he saw High John over yonder and he walked his way over and he kicked him as he was leaning underneath a willow tree and he said, High John, you're coming with me. And High John said, well, I reckon that I'm not. Now he was trying to figure a way to get him. So he said, High John, I'll give you a test. If you pass, you stay here. But if you don't, you're coming with me. And he said, High John, how about a memory test? What did you have for breakfast? High John said, eggs. And then the devil disappeared. Didn't come back for 8, 10, 12 years. Then, the same hot day where the sun was sweating and the June bugs stopped flying, the whole Massa popped out. I'm sorry. Devil popped down and he found High John leaning up against the same willow tree. He saw him and then he said, High John, how?
How what?
High John smiled, tipped his hat back and said, fried.
Filled with hollows, work songs and later their spirituals were laced with secret messages and codes.
Steal away to
ran away. Wade in the water. Warned that the dogs have been brought out and sent a message to the runner that to get in some water if they could, because the dogs can't smell your scent in the water. These songs also carried their prayers and wishes for the well-being of the brave freedom seeker. All of those feelings had to stay hidden, so they created a rhythm of relief. Juba!
Juba! As soon as Africans were taken, stolen from their home nation, split friends and all relatives, so none would speak the language or revolts what the owners worried. So they took their drums in a hurry. No way to communicate, no way to assume their fate. But the rhythm was deep inside, so their praises were not to hide. Their heartbeats would hum, and their bodies would drum.
Juba this, Juba that, Juba to the yellow cat. Juba up, Juba down, Juba all around. You sip the meal and you give me the husk. You bake the bread and you give me the crust. You eat the meat and you give me the skin. And that's the way my mama's struggle begins.
This story is being told, and its power shines through me. At this point in the story, my people were still searching for a space to hold their faith. They were between a rock and a hard place, just holding on. There was a time when I only knew bits and pieces of this history. And knowing so little hurt me, left me with no understanding, filled me with doubt, made me ashamed. You see, I lifted my head to pray and I didn't know where to start. I was afraid I'd never be enough. Not even for my own God. But the Spirit told me to dig deeper. And I did. And now knowing the whole story has delivered me. See, the truth has the power to set you free. But first, all the players must face the fact and vow to never go back to that dangerous place that threatens both the oppressed and the oppressor. So no one goes down that deep hole comes out unscathed. Lord, we down here in this sinful world, no one can help us but you, Lord, above. Help me, Lord Jesus, give me more grace. I need your power. Help me run this race. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. Begging you, Jesus. Help me run this race. Help me, Jesus.
So rhythm of praise was still awake in the Africans, and eventually they would weave it into a worship practice of Christianity. And the ring shout bridges their old traditions with their new religious rituals. For the enslaved, the road to Christianity was full of twists and turns. It was hard to trust anything endorsed by the enslaver. And it was against the law to teach enslaved Africans to read or write. So getting the word firsthand from the Bible, it was off limits.
Help, Lord.
Begging you, Jesus.
Help me run this race.
The enslaver worried that the conversion to Christianity would acknowledge the slave's humanity. That's when the argument of white supremacy raised its ugly head. Then it was decided that they could be Christian and stay slaves as long as they were not white.
The ones holding them in bondage professed to be Christians. This did not convince them that Christianity was the way to salvation. However, after the First Great Awakening, more and more Africans began to take notice of the religion.
Help me, Lord, begging you, help me run. In this sinful world,
awakening did get the Africans' attention. A fiery revival movement that swept through the British American colonies in the early 1730s. One of the popular preachers to lead these revivals was an evangelist from England named George Whitefield. When he preached, thousands came, blacks, whites, free and enslaved. My, this was transformative. Blacks and whites openly connecting to the Spirit of the Lord. Yeah, there were always praise shouts, spirit dancing, and falling out after being touched by the Holy Spirit. Somebody get her. This uninhibited religious celebration seemed familiar to most of the African worshipers. It called to them, connected them to the Spirit. It was a taste of freedom, spiritual freedom.
When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Free to live. I'm gonna get now, 'cause it's my freedom. I love how you talk, you speak in my language. The way that you walk, you can't contain it. Is it the truth? Your dog ain't cool. They're over through for a little more practice. Shall we die? You can shine. If you do, I'ma do too. When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like I wanna do it. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Oh, free to live. I'm gonna 'cause it's my freedom.
The Second Great Awakening was in the late 1800s, but it began with the Freedom Faith, when the original Methodist Church had formed around the denouncement of slavery. This caused great excitement and hope. A young man, Richard Allen, who had been enslaved, had converted with great optimism to that faith. Richard worked hard, planned, and eventually was able to buy his freedom. Now, Richard was deeply inspired by his faith, and he believed that if blacks and whites knew that their struggle was intertwined and they worked together, the country would then live up to the ideals it was built upon. He threw himself into his work. Now, although the Methodist faith was known as a freedom faith, it still practiced segregation. One day, 1892, a black man was praying, and he was asked with malice to go to the back of the sanctuary where the pews for his kind were located. That was the day that he and Richard Allen stood up, turned around, and walked out of that church, taking all of the black worshipers with him. Richard did not throw away his faith. He continued his work, going on to found the African Methodist Episcopal Church, the first black independent Christian denomination that recognized his African roots. Allen dreamt that the AME Church would truly be a freedom church. That was his prayer.
Gracious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired. I am weak. I am old. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Lord, take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home.
Not everyone turned to the church to be free. There were men and women who understood they had every right to live and be free. They didn't care to survive, to live half lives. They saw red when they were made to kneel. The contempt for those who stood over them, they refused to conceal. Anger burned in their throats. as they were held in place under the threat of a gun, branded or maimed if they tried to run. Their hearts pounded to the beat of kill or be killed, kill or be killed. Their eyes flamed with defiance as they whispered, "Before I go, you will know, no man is my master." These men and women did not last. They wouldn't bow their heads in their rage they could not mask. They were gone before we knew their names. Their stories lay quiet, buried, and unclaimed. That was news the plantation couldn't use. Stories like that have the power to sour a slave.
Before I be slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
To be free. What does that mean? To be free. Those words dance through our dreams. To be free. Hearts have ached. People have run away, left everyone they loved. To be free. People pray and ask God every day. Many have sought education, hoping to discover a way to be free. People pray and ask, The determined ones stood up and fought, revolted, plotted, and raged to be free. The Stonewall Rebellion of 1739, Gabriel Prosser Uprising of 1800, the Nat Turner Revolt of 1831, and John Brown's Raid of 1859 are just some of the battles that were waged to be free. Nations have declared revolutions to be free. But it was the Haitian Revolution, a slave revolt that struck terror in the minds of slave owners worldwide, proving to be free could be a reality. Oh, the Haitian Revolution was also of special benefit to America because fighting the Haitians put such a financial strain on France that America was able to buy the Louisiana Purchase from their leader, Napoleon Bonaparte, helping us to shape our present-day America. Sea to shining sea. Above all, it was the Haitians that made enslaved people everywhere believe they too could be free. Thank you, Haiti.
Oh, day.
Oh, day.
Oh, day.
Oh, day.
Yonder come day.
Yonder come day.
Day
Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day. Oh, day.
Yonder come day.
Oh, day.
Yonder come day.
Oh, day.
Yonder come day.
Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day. Come on, day.
Yonder come day.
Oh, come on, day.
Yonder come day.
I said, come on, day.
Yonder come day.
Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day.
The black man's right
Yonder come day.
to join the fight.
Yonder come day.
It's a brand new day.
Yonder come day. Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day.
Emancipation.
Yonder come day.
Proclamation.
Yonder come day.
I made it official.
Yonder come day. Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day. Yonder come day.
I heard them say
Yonder come day.
that the war is over.
Men of war, nothing stands in freedom's way. Yonder come day.
Yonder come day.
Men of war, nothing stands in freedom's way. Yonder come day.
Yonder come day.
Left, left, right, left.
Being acknowledged as men of war meant everything to these black soldiers. They marched. They fought. And now they were free.
The Civil War was a brutal chapter in America's history. 1865, at long last, the war was over. However, the war between the political battle over what rights were due to 4 million freedmen raged on. A congressman, Thaddeus Stevens, a white man and leader of the radical Republicans, boldly stated,
Every man, no matter what his race or color, has an equal right to justice, honesty, and fair play with every other man. And the law should secure him those rights. Such is the law of God. Such ought to be the law of man.
this made sense to the newly emancipated. It filled them with hope. And their prayers were finally being answered. With renewed faith, they began to establish independent black churches all over the South.
They finally had stepped out of the shackles of slavery, looking towards what seemed to be a bright future. What if all of America had stepped out of the shackles of prejudice and hatred? Where might we be if we had chosen to embrace our humanity?
Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Broke these chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
In the corners of my mind, I just can't seem to find a reason to believe that I can break free. 'Cause you see, I have been down for so long, feel like all hope is gone. But as I lift my hands, I understand that I should praise you through my circumstance.
Shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Broke these chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
Everything that could go wrong, all of wrong at one time. So much pressure fell on me. I thought I was gonna lose my mind. But I know you wanna see if I can hold on to these trials. Cause I need you to live this love, and I can't take it no more.
Shackles on my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Broke these chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
Take me through the fire and the rain.
Bound in every kind of way.
God has broken everything,
So let me go right now. Shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Broke these chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you. Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Broke these chains, now I can lift my hands. I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
At the end of the Civil War, there was rejoicing, but it didn't last long. During Reconstruction, promises were made, plans were hatched, and the freedmen dared to dream. But it wasn't long before the South rose from licking its wounds and went back to war. This time against Black Americans.
Black codes.
Jim Crow, convict leasing, night riders.
Lynching.
They lived under the constant threat of violence.
But the church was their sanctuary. It's where they could go to feel free, where soothing rhythms relieved them. The place where they could commune with their Savior, where they could unwrap their pain easily, where they could breathe deep and laugh loud and feel proud. It's the place where they could be themselves, the place where they belong, a place of peace, a safe haven.
Church was at the center of Black life. It's where they found their strength.
It was the only place they had to rejoice. It's where their leaders found their voice. It's also where they found the courage to stand up, so it was not always safe.
If the church was seen as a place of power, night riders would come around.
You can't lynch a church, so they would burn it down.
Africans are resilient. Most time they would build it back up from the ground. During the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s, leaders came from the church.
Like Reverend Adam Clayton Powell Jr. in Harlem, Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth in Birmingham, and of course, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with his National Nonviolent Resistance Movement.
However, by the mid-1960s, young blacks were growing impatient with nonviolent resistance. They were turning to the words of Stokely Carmichael and Black Panthers Huey P. Newton and Eldridge Cleaver.
When we gonna get off our knees and stand up for ourselves? We are over-churched and underpaid. Ain't you tired? Ain't you tired of begging and praying for freedom, for hit me, I'm gonna hurt you. It's time for Black Power.
I hear you, my brother. But Dr. King once said, a cry for Black power was born from the wombs of despair and disappointment. Black power is a cry of pain.
Of course, pain. Because we have never had power nor protection from all of the hate.
Yet love is stronger than hate. I say love is the most powerful thing we have. I say God is love.
Don't go and talk about my Father.
Talk about him.
'Cause God is my friend.
Jesus is my friend.
He made this world for us to live in
He made this world.
and gave us everything.
Gave us everything.
And all he asks of us is that we give each other love. Don't go and talk about my Father.
Talk about him.
'Cause God is my friend.
Jesus is my friend.
He loves us whether or not we know it. And he'll forgive all our sins. And all he asks of us is that we give each other love. Love your mother.
Love your father.
Love your sister.
Love your brother.
Don't go and talk about my
Talk
Father.
about him.
See, God is my friend.
Jesus is my friend.
And when you call on him for mercy, he'll be merciful, my friends. And all he asks of us is that we give each other love. Don't go and talk about my Father.
Don't talk about him.
'Cause God is our friend. If God is love, is love enough to heal us?
Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church is part of the history of the black struggle against oppression.
Peter, we don't know why the gunman went on a shooting spree.
The suspect, he is 21 years old and he apparently
entered
hates black.
Emmanuel AME Church around 8:06 p.m. wearing a fanny pack. After attending a Bible study class for an hour,
Haitian officials say the team of assassins who killed the president in Miles in the middle of the night.
A child sex crimes bust. 40 people arrested in an undercover investigation. We sent this out as a breaking news.
Inside this old warehouse in South Texas, the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is keeping them. The Border Patrol told us close to 200 people inside.
This morning, the nation is waking up to a cold reality. The worst week since the pandemic began. New infections exploded from coast to coast.
Down outside the Capitol. President Trump airing his
The situation here in Santa Monica, California is very fluid. You can see police here now firing tear gas into the crowd. They are trying to push these folks back.
In Texas, legislators worked through the night on a
This
bill
video
to
appearing to
rewrite
show
the
an officer
voting laws.
putting his knee on the
Florida's
neck
governor
of someone
signed a
taken into
similar bill
custody
yesterday.
before another officer pulls his leg off.
The heartbreaking day.
COVID has killed more people in one day than the number of people killed on D-Day and at Pearl Harbor.
A shocking scene after the death of George Floyd, why so many poured into the streets.
Well, the vaccine cannot come fast enough
The
as the
nation
U.S. is
erupted
dealing
into
with
scenes
the
of
worst
chaos.
pandemic in a century.
COVID-19 has battered the global economy, causing
And
the worst
widespread
recession
destruction
since the
into
Great
the early
Depression.
morning hours.
We can't peaceably protest in the streets without getting tear gas thrown at us for what?
How long can you be peaceful when your people are dying?
You said I could call you when I need
Lord, we're standing in the need of oh, yes. Oh, the blessing. Yes. Lord, we're standing in the need. Yes, Lord, we're standing in the need. Lord, we're standing in the need. Yes, we are standing I don't know about you, but I'm standing in the need of a blessing. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. My friends, give this wonderful choir a round of applause. Yes. Thank you, musician. My friends, I stand before you today troubled. Heart is heavy because I don't know if you've heard the news or not, but the world seems to be on fire. There seems to be no water to soothe it. It feels like the cacophony keeps growing. Insurrections at the White House. Children are no longer safe in schools. Worshipers are no longer safe in church. There is an all-affront accosting on children, poor people, and those who are disenfranchised. And my brothers and sisters, I'm worried today because we are all standing in the need. Yes, my brothers and sisters, standing because we continue to struggle against one another. And this struggle is real. It rages on. It has been years and years, and yet the perversion that slavery bred still touches us today. Violence and hatred continue to grow because instead of turning to each other, we are turning on each other. Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. We struggle to trust and respect one another. There is a beautiful promise for all of us to share, and there seems that we just can't get it right. We are all in this storm together, and yet there is no break in the clouds. Yes, the winds and the rain are howling the pain of the past. If you find yourself shuddering from the thunder of our current situation and shielding your eyes from a devastating future, don't worry, I understand your fears. But I also know that what we are doing to each other is dangerous. Someone asked the question if God's love is the answer. Is it enough to heal us? My brothers and sisters, I say that it is more than enough. It is enough to make us whole. It is enough to make us fulfilled. And yes, we all struggle. To live is to struggle. But oh, the journey is much easier when you are made whole by love. Now, listen, it is hard to find people who are whole. I said it is hard to find people who are whole. Amen, lights and wallpaper. Everywhere you go, you see pieces, have hearts clogged with greed, shreds of anger, portions of pain, slivers of people who don't know that this road is best traveled when you are made whole. Most of us are wounded from battling to claim our souls. Once you've profited from great pain, and suffering and turned a blind eye, you began to develop a hole in your soul. You struggled to pray to reveal your true pain. And I know that once you've been bought or sold or constantly humiliated, you may come to believe that you are not worthy to be whole. You doubt that you will ever be enough. But God is waiting to heal all of us. He is waiting to deliver all of us. You have prayed and you keep getting in your own way. The prayer should be, Lord, deliver me. All I seem to do is hurt me. Hurt me. Deliver me. All I seem to do is hurt me. Hurt me. Lord, please deliver me. Make me a believer. Make me know that through you I can do all things. God wants more for us. God is requiring more from us. Yes, he wants us to know that we are more than enough, that we are made to be an abundant creature. The Creator planted a seed of abundance in each and every one of us. Yes, we suffer, and our suffering cannot be contained. Yet we still stand, broken, bent, yet still reaching for love. My friends, to keep standing up, you must have the abundance of faith, an undeniable belief that you were brought here on the wings of purpose. Some of us carrying bags of gold, some of us in chains, some of us with only our dreams, but still here for a purpose. My friends, we can all come together on a new purpose. Yes, the struggle is real, but so is our power to come together. Yes, we may be broken, but we can be made whole. Somebody say whole. Whole. Come on, say whole. Whole. Come on till your heaven hears you. Whole. Whole. Yes, well, I know that resilience is rooted in the spirit that occupies the soul. I don't want to be just put back together. I don't want to be tied together. I want to be made whole. Do you know what it feels like when you are bombarded with messages that say you are not enough? I know. Feeling like you cannot be loved, too afraid to love anyone, even your own self. Afraid that you don't have what it takes. Do you know what that feels like? At the height of the battle, someone or something is whispering in your ear to give up. Throw in the towel. You don't deserve to win. My friends, don't listen. Keep fighting. There is a promise at the end. My friends, it is the abundant soul that rises up above the battle to give you victory over your doubt. My friends, what will it take to grow that whole seed? Oh, what will it grow? What will it be? The whole soul, my friends. What if we were all abundant enough to mix joy and the confidence of faith and celebrate one another? Yes, is it a leap of faith to believe that you can watch over me and I yet still watch over you. Yes, my friends, what is it to reach and uplift one another? To decide to fling hate, envy, and self-doubt away. My friends, to believe that you can change the world with a creative spirit, fearless faith, and boundless love. What if the whole soul was your ambition? And freedom was your song? What would that song sound like?
This song's dedicated
to everyone
who made it. Any test and trial, hopeless situation. Now you have a story. Angels can't sing in glory. You're redeemed from the hand of the enemy. Whether it's in the courtroom, fighting in the courtroom, trying to feed your family, deep down under. But God is more than able. He can turn the table, turn and tell you. Now it's time for you to return the favor. Can I get a witness? Just need one more witness. God's still working miracles, opening doors that weren't closed before. He's still making ways when others say that there ain't no way.
And if you know this is true,
This is what I need you to do. Get up with me and say, ain't nobody say it like me. Ain't nobody tell it like me. You don't know the story like me, 'cause it's my testimony. Ain't nobody says it like me. Ain't nobody prays it for me. He's giving me the victory. Now I got a testimony. It's my
words of
it's my testimony. I got a
you got it.
testimony. It's my testimony. I got a testimony.
Can I get a witness?
Can I get a
Clap your hands.
witness?
Just me.
Just me one more witness. God's still working miracles. Open doors that were closed before. He's still making ways. Never say that there ain't no way.
And if you know this is true,
This is what I need you to do. Get up with me and say, ain't nobody say it like me. Ain't nobody tell it like me.
and you don't know,
You don't know the story like me. 'Cause it's my testimony. Say, ain't nobody praise him like me. Ain't nobody praise him for me. He's giving me the victory. Now I got a testimony.
can I get a witness?
Can I get a witness?
What an amazing performance. Y'all can do better than that. Yes, yes, yes. The ancestors are smiling right now at these young people and at you for coming out to support them in the way that you have. We thank you for being here. Take a seat. I got some announcements. Now, it is important for us to let people know about this production. We have a 3 p.m. production today. I dare you, because you are ambassadors for us today. You can go online to your Facebook page at 3 o'clock and share it with your friends and say, check this out. This is where I was at 11. These kids are phenomenal. They're not shooting people up. They're doing something positive, and we need to let the community know that. Now I want to go around the room and let you know who is supporting and who is integral to making this happen. I'll bring the queen up in a minute. But let's thank Miss Felicia Hedrick for costuming. And let's thank Miss Toria Gowdy for her choreography. And let's thank Miss Amber Daniels. She is the assistant to the executive director helping out with volunteer management. Terrence Asante Doyle, assistant to the artistic director. We want to thank our sound and video streaming, Gary and Miles, who represent Witherspoon. I want to thank Miss Ashley, our storyteller. I want to thank Mark Dursum on piano, our musical director. This gentleman that has been running, well, he couldn't run around much, but he represents Free Native Productions, a humble spirit, a really professional spirit, Ty Payne, who is doing our videography for us. Big shout out to our ASL interpreter. Thank you. Now, if you are an ACT alum in the house, stand up. Everybody who's ACT alum in the house, stand up, show your face. We are all over the place doing what we do. Again, and Tyla Asante Doyle, she's going to be taking video. When you leave here, we want to capture some group shots, videos. Tell them what you thought about the production. All right? So now I want to bring this person. Did I forget him? Oh, how could I miss? How could I miss? Ain't nothing humble about you. Come on now. Josiah McCurston. And now I want to bring Dr. Charlene Fletcher to the stage, say some last words. And then, like we do in church, and the next voice that you hear after Dr. Charlene Fletcher will be that of the phenomenal, talented, creative, oh my God, her face is on a mural on the Stutz building, Miss Deborah Asante. Thanks everybody again.
I was like, is she talking about me? Thank you so much for coming, guys. This was such a labor of love. Conner Prairie and Asante Art Institute coming together, trying to become more inclusive. Both organizations, both trying to speak to those obstacles that are in our way. And as the storyteller said, if we acknowledge the facts and vow never to go back, we have to first face it and learn about it, know that this has happened so it doesn't happen again. And I don't want to keep you long, but these young people, we don't only just perform, we learn to grow our spirits, to become people that have a platform and are feeling confident enough to lead and help people to heal and become stronger in the world. And they have learned things, and I don't want to put everybody on the spot, but if somebody wants to speak to like Jabari, that Juba piece that he got up and did, he wrote that himself. And I had brought the script to them, and they were like, and he went home and wrote that, which said, I understand what you're talking about, and I'd like to say it this way. And that's the way we work, that it's a collaborative spirit, like recognizing that there are artists in the room, and recognizing that there's magic there, and we just pull it out of coming together. So before I let Miss Dr. Fletcher close us out, is there anybody who would like to speak on their experience this summer?
Hi, my name is Shelby Denny. I'm 16, and what I have learned this summer and experienced this summer has been so much that really shows you what our American school system doesn't teach you. Our American school system doesn't even acknowledge the factor of slavery for more than a week. And it's disappointing to see that I have learned, well, it's exciting to see that I've learned, but it's sad to see that our system is failing us. I learned more here in the years that I've been with this company about the Black American experience and the African American experience than I ever have in a school.
Hello, my name is Jabari Buchanan. I'm 14. Amen to what Shelby said. It's very true. But I think over the summer, it was a great experience. I got to hang out with other kids my age because, you know, this COVID, this pandemic, ruined a lot of things for all of us. And it was a great experience to hang out with all of them, learn new things. And like what she said, school doesn't teach us, so we gotta learn here, you know what I'm saying? And I wanna give a big thanks to the janitors, because we were barefoot and they gave us a clean stage. And they gave us a clean environment, so thank you, janitors. Custodians, sorry.
Hi, I'm Coleman Reynolds. I'm 13 years old. And I just want to thank Miss Asante because none of this would really be here without her. She wrote everything. She took what we had to say and just made it amazing, and I really appreciate that, so thank you.
I'm Aaliyah Durham. I am 12 years old, and most of the things we learned over these past few weeks was these amazing people, and thank you, Ms. Asante, for having me. And most of the things that we learned, I did not know, and what Shelby said, our school system is failing us horribly. So I'm so grateful that I learned most of the stuff here, and I got the opportunity to know my history. So thank you, Ms. Asante.
Hi, my name is Naomi Turnipseed. I'm 16 years old. And this is my first time with Ms. Shante, and she's done a phenomenal job of just training us and, you know, telling us like notes and like how to really be, you know, a really good actress. And so I really thank her for that. And, you know, I will most definitely use that in my future. And I'm very grateful to meet each and every one of you guys. You guys have been so very nice and kind to me. And I'm glad that I'm in an environment where I'm safe and I feel safe. And I'm so grateful that I learned more and more about my culture, that stuff I still didn't even know. There's still so much more that we don't know. So, and you know, I'm glad I learned and I can, you know, share to others who don't know, so others can understand. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Imani, and I'm 15. Everybody else talked about what they learned in school. I actually did learn a lot of this stuff in school, but I feel like this experience has given me a deeper understanding. So I'm going to talk about my experience this summer with Ms. Asante. And I feel like being around a lot of other people helped me because when they set the bar, it's like you have to reach that bar or exceed. So there's nobody who's beneath anybody else. Everybody is working hard. And I feel like I really appreciate Mrs. Asante because she brings out something in me that I don't bring out in myself, and she always pushes me to do better every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming. As Mama Keisha said, we challenge you, we dare you is what she said. We dare you to share with your friends, let them know about our 3 o'clock show, but also let them know that what you see here, again, is a partnership. And this is something that you will continue to see beginning in the summer of 22 with Promised Land is Proving Ground at Conner Prairie. And this is an exhibit that's going to be about us and obviously by us. Ashe. So, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.